Fighting with Paddle TV, and I just got off a 2-day overnight trip on the New River in North Carolina. It was a very cold but beautiful trip, and my first overnight trip of the year. Actually, it was my first paddling trip of the year. I left the snow and ice back at home to come down here and do some warm paddling, but I got the paddling part right. Now, I just filmed a Paddle Tales episode, an adventure episode, but oftentimes people ask me, what gear are you using when you're doing your adventures? And so I wanted to do a quick rundown of the gear that I've used on this trip. Now, starting with the kayak itself, this is the P&H Leo. It's a sea kayak. It's a 16-foot sea kayak. I had never used this kayak before. I tested the P&H Virgo, which is like the small version, the 14-foot version of this kayak last summer, and absolutely loved that kayak. This is very similar. It's not quite as playful, doesn't have quite as much rocker. It's 2 feet longer, but I wanted to see how this did. I knew it was gonna be faster. I'm not gonna tell you how that worked out because I'm gonna do a full review video about the Leo, but that's what I used on this trip. You know, a lot of people think of sea kayaks as just being for the sea or or big water, big lakes covering a lot of ground. Well, they're great for rivers too. They're great for such a wide variety of conditions. We only dealt with class 1, some light class 2 whitewater in this, but for me, I love this. I love this kayak. The paddle I used was the Aquabound Whiskey Carbon. This is full carbon blades, full carbon shaft. I know, carbon, super light, really nice paddle. Backup paddle that I brought is the Aquabound Manta Ray Hybrid. Carbon shaft with their nylon blades or reinforced nylon blades. Really durable, I love this as a primary paddle too. It's much more affordable than a full carbon paddle. Great backup paddle, but also great primary paddle. Oh, it's so windy and cold here. Also, something to note is that I was using pogies for this. If you haven't seen pogies before, all they do is they wrap over your paddle and your hand just goes inside like that. Your hand keeps its grip directly on the paddle shaft, which I really like. I like that better than gloves or mitts because you lose there's neoprene between your hand and the paddle shaft itself. You lose feel. I mean, this is the connection between you and the water, so having that intimate connection is important to me. Is it as warm as a paddling glove or mitt? Well, maybe not quite as warm, especially if you're gonna be playing around and you get surfing. Water does get in here, but they're still extremely warm, way warmer than not having anything, and you can just get your hand in and out when you need to so quick. So I love pogies. Well, what I'm wearing right now I've just got, this is an old polypropylene top that I've had for probably 15 years. It's my blankie. I wear it a lot. Underneath I have Nrs Hydro Skin shirt, and it's like neoprene shirt, but it's got a nice fuzzy underside, so it's a lot more comfortable. I don't like just straight neoprene against my body. Down below, I'm not gonna show you exactly what I got going on under below. Well, actually, I'll show you a little bit here. But I really all I have under these paddling pants are some fleece, as a fleece layer, a thick fleece pant, and I wear surf shorts over there to provide a little bit more comfort on the butt. This is basically a dry pant. It has socks built into the pant so that if my feet get wet, they're not actually gonna get wet. It's got a tunnel here that comes right up, and then my skirt goes over top, and then my top goes over top, and it really pretty much provides, it's dry. I am dry under here, and I've been wet today. Now on the feet, I've got Nrs Boundary Boots. These are absolutely my go-to cold weather boots. They're waterproof. I mean, assuming you don't step into water over the boot cuff, and then it goes down. But otherwise, they're completely waterproof. They are insulated. It's neoprene, and really comfortable. They're flexible enough, but their sole is still hard enough you can walk on any terrain and get away with it. I love these things. So these are over top the socks that are part of the dry pants. They protect them. So it's not a dry suit, but it's dry pants. And then over top of this, I just wear, I'm not sure what model this is. I think it might be NRS's Riptide, but it's an anorak style paddle jacket. If you've watched my videos before, you know I'm a big fan of anorak style paddle jackets. The reason being is they have latex gaskets at the wrists. That's important. It stops that water from, well, you can see my arms are bone dry, stops that drip from going down, that cold water drip, which sucks. And then at the neck, it doesn't have a latex gasket. It has a neoprene gasket. Now that's not as waterproof. So if you're doing something you're gonna be flipping a lot, in cold water, you're probably better off going with a latex. You are better off going with a latex gasket. But for this type of paddling where I wasn't gonna be flipping, it was just gonna be maybe rain, getting splashed. For me, neoprene is so much more comfortable on the neck. It also has a hood, so if it started to rain, you got a hood while you're paddling. Anyway, that's, double tunnel. So my skirt, when I'm wearing this thing, I pull this tunnel down, I pull the skirt over top, and then I pull the top part over top of that and cinch it down. And so water really, it can get in slowly if you're swimming, but it's gonna take a while for water to break through this barrier. It's not a dry suit, but it's pretty close. Skirt-wise, I believe this is the Drylander. It's a skirt with a pretty tight rand, so that gives it a good seal on the kayak. It's a kind of skirt. It's not a nylon skirt that's really designed to be splash proof. This is designed to take a wave, to stay on when you need it to stay on, but it's still easy enough to, it's got the big ripcord here to be able to pull it off when you need it. Life jacket, this is the NRS Zen Rescue Jacket, and this again is it's my go-to jacket for a lot of paddling, whether it's whitewater or sea kayaking. I love just the big central pocket here to carry. I carry my sunscreen. In this case, I forgot my lip stuff, and that was a big mistake. My lips are super chapped. But I put that kind of stuff in here, snacks, stuff I want quick, easy access to. Cold day like today, it also has a fleece-lined pocket so that you can warm up your hands while you're on the water when you take them out of the bogies. So that's my gear, the gear that I was wearing. And otherwise, how I packed the boat, maybe I'll just start at the back and go forward. So in the back hatch here, now this is not necessarily a great representation of how you should pack. These are my camp running shoes. They're a waterproof trail running shoe. And then in here, this is my sleeping bag. I knew it was gonna be cold, so this is a pretty heavy duty sleeping bag. It's a Big Agnes. I think it's a -10 Celsius or 10 to 15 Fahrenheit sleeping bag, and my tent. And this is my camp fuel. And so you can see I bagged everything except for the camp shoes. I mean, I dry bagged everything except for the camp shoes, which were on top, and I really wasn't worried about getting wet. And I'll explain why in a sec. But even though this is theoretically a waterproof compartment, it's not waterproof. They never are. So anything you want to stay dry, you really have to dry bag. I mean, you don't need to. For example, your tent, you don't need to dry bag it. And sometimes the bulk of a dry bag is a pain, and it makes it, I won't use it. It's because I'll just put the tent in, because you know what, tent can dry really quickly too, especially on a nice day and you have some wind. But it's obviously preferable to keep things dry. Now I've got behind me in like the day hatch here, I've got I keep some snacks back here. There's some food back here. I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not a big fan of day hatches. They're hard to access when you're actually paddling during the day, and they're small, and you can't fit that many things. Only small dry bags go in there. So I'd prefer this to be one big hatch here that I could fit more gear into here I didn't need to really access until I got to camp. This is a river we're on, so I have a throw bag on hand, easy access throw bag. That's always important to have on a river with moving water. This is a day hatch that makes a lot of sense, having this little sucker right in front. I've got a GoPro here, a first aid kit here, had some snacks in here before. And then this here is the Gear Lab, the Deck Pod version 2. It actually just came out. It's a lot like the previous Deck Pod, which I really like. It's got simple, easy access to the inside. Snacks, water, snacks, whatever you want quick access to. Bilge pump goes here. There's another pocket here for paddle float. I mean, whatever you want to have quick and easy access to. It also is compatible for hydration packs. You can have the hydration pack in here and bladder in here and a hose coming out. That's really convenient. The biggest change for the Deck Pod version 2 is how it attaches to the boat. This is really cool. It's just a simple clip mechanism. Boom. You just clip it onto any rope that you need to. You press, and there, and it's on, and off. So really easy to attach to a boat. There we go. I need to detach it anyway because I'm packing up. And in the front hatch, I just had some more dry bags. This was my cooking stuff and the kitchen stuff. This was my clothes. And what else I have in here? Oh, that's my sleeping pad. You know, in the ends of the boat, I have light stuff, light, bulky stuff. This clothes is light, the sleeping pad is light. The tent, actually, the tent that I have, the Big Agnes tent is, I don't remember the model of it, but it's a really nice and light tent too, so it was in the end. So light things at the end, heavier things towards the middle if you can. And the other piece, last piece I have is in the middle. I had plenty of space past the foot pegs for I don't even remember what's in this dry bag. Oh, more warm weather gear. It was a cold night. It went down a couple of degrees below zero. So what I brought stuff that around camp that I love, like on cold nights, like down booties. These things have done many, many adventures with me. Don't leave home without those. And really this is just extra warm gear at the bottom of here. So there you have it. That's the full run through what I brought on this 2-day cold water river trip down the New River, North Carolina. Hope that was helpful, and it's time for you to do a river trip yourself.